Tonight's episode, The Endangered Species.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
At Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about abandoned puppies for about an hour, and then also guns, I guess, also. So on Tuesdays, we tend to look at the Instagram. Why? Because, well, a lot of people think Instagram is better than YouTube. A lot of people hate YouTube and don't even like to go over to YouTube, and that's when they go to the Instagrams. Other people hate Instagrams and only go to YouTube. So what we do is we jam the Instagrams into YouTubes together. So let's dig in and take a look at that. We're going to bring up our guest co-host screen sharing right there. That'll zoom the puppy down and over to here. We still have the puppy cam going down here. So we can quickly jump back and forth to full screen puppy. So we've gone to 100% full screen puppy in high def full screen 3-dimensional puppy. This ear feels like it's flipping right on your screen in front of you, doesn't it? Do you feel the whiff of air blowing from this flappy ear? That's the kind of quality we've got on the show this evening. So we can flip it back over to here. And again, we'll leave the puppy cam down here in the corner. Not a potato, real puppy. No one wants this puppy. It's still sitting here. So we'll dig into the Instagram. So we do have a poll going. Notice some people joining us live are talking about the poll. So let's dig in and take a look at who's joining us. G23 was the first one to ask about the show tonight, and the first one to join, and the second one to thumbs up, and the first one to thumbs up. Thank you for all of that. Snob is out there also, and I think that's just all of everybody. So it's you guys. So welcome. You guys voted twice, I guess, to handguns and rifles. Yep. And hopefully everything's going good with your puppy over there. Heard about that on the Instagram today. Sorry about that. I'm not keeping this dog. I am trying to figure out who its people are, but since nobody else wants it, I'm going to at least try to get its ears a lot less floppy than this somehow. I'll give it some exercises and enthusiasm. I'll scold it, punish it if its ears don't get better. I'm used to Dobermans that have a very hard-working ear that's not floppy like, oh, look, you not like any part of that. All right, learn something new about pugs. Fiddle with their ear too much, they're leaving. They're out of here. I'll leave it on anyway, even though now the puppy cam is going to be fairly boring. It's essentially potato. Baked potato. Look how fat the potato is. Oh no, we got a potato arm now. All right, you got an arm. You got a little better than nothing. I won't flap the arm around, even though his arm is also very flappy. Oh, look at this. That's pretty neat. Then you got his foot action going. Look how little his hand is compared to a real hand. 9mm shooter hand, 45 ACP. All right, we'll get back to it. All right, so right now we do have a poll going, and what is the best type of gun all around if you were going to buy just one? It's a ridiculous question that the internet requires us to ask on a regular basis, so we're asking it. It's a stupid question. The best answer is, come on. But I didn't give you as an option, so you got handgun, rifle, that's not an AR, shotgun, or an AR. And notice AR shotgun isn't on there, because you know why. So, right now, handguns are winning with 67%. Ooh. And then 33% for non-AR-15. Ooh. So 81% of gun owners believe that an AR-15 is the best gun. So just FYI. All right, so we're going to get over to the Instagrams. Take a look at what's going on over there. So Instagram is better than YouTube in the way that it's faster. You don't have to fart around as long. It's pictures, and now it is some videos also, but it's a lot quicker. And for those reasons, I think it's better in some ways for communication, right? For just keeping up with people, keeping in touch, so to speak. YouTube is better, period, just in general. But what are you going to do? Now, as far as audiences and communities, YouTube is better. It's bigger, better people. Instagram, superficial, kind of, you know, you're not going to make any plans with somebody from Instagram. So I'm not saying they're fake. They're just not interested in having a community. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on Instagram, right? So now we're going to zoom in on it and take a look. So what we're looking at is all the posts that I've saved from other people who are doing stuff on the Instagrams. And we'll sit here, comment on them, whatnot. So I need to go back about a week. So I remember these, I think. So this is a good one. This is from Rebecca Schmoy. No, it's from Gun Owners Radio. Oh, it is from Rebecca Schmoy. And this one is from the 21st. So you know what? That's about a week ago. We'll go with it. G23 is saying that it hates you. Dude, just use a different name. Jump on if you want. There's other ways to get on there, but I hear you if you don't want to. Patriots out there, good evening. We got the webcam going. So here's the deal. Patriots dog and this dog are very similar. I don't think his dog is a pug from what I remember, but I remember his dog having a little tiny butt like this dog, and his dog would do this deal where it would lay down on the ground, and I'm not used to little dogs, mind you. It would lay down on the floor and scoot, and it scoots with its front legs, and then it just lets its back legs kind of go bloop and just kind of scoot along. And I thought that was hilarious. And I didn't know, you know, why his dog was doing it. His dog was doing it. And I was like, oh, it's the cutest thing ever. My dog can't do that. He wouldn't do that because my dog's a big, giant Doberman. So now this dog's around, and I play with this dog on the bed. He does the same thing. So it must be a little dog thing, and it's hilarious. So my dog and the Patriots dog do the same thing. We can't get him to do it here because he's sleeping. He refuses to do anything right now. I mean, if you flap his ears around, he'll turn around. That's about it. Oh, I guess if you just mention flapping his ears around, he'll turn around also. He's very worried about his ears getting flapped around. sensitive about it. All right, so this is a post from Rebecca Schmoy. It says, freedom is not won by complaining on the internet. Okay, we have an update on the puppy. He's turned around into a much better position. That's how we're talking. So let's just zoom over to quickly take a look at the puppy update. He's about to do something cute. He made a little snort noise. All right, a lot of people aren't familiar with the snort noises these dogs make, but they do make a pretty nice snort noise. And we've also brought in new lighting. It's going to make it more difficult for him to sleep, but this is all about the gram, so let's get that lighting in here. Next up is going to be a ring light, probably, as soon as I can afford it. But until then, we're just going to go with this light. So it might bother him a little bit, but we'll see. But we want to get good lighting for the video. I'll just put it here, I guess. I guess I can not have to put it right in his nose. I yelled at him and I said, you better be cute for when we go live. And if you aren't being cute or whatever, then no food. He's doing pretty good. Let me know in the comments if he's being cute enough to get food today. All right, so I'll turn this off because I'm like at least 3 AAA batteries on this. All right, so we're gonna finally get into it. So what I do is I go around to the Instagram. Oh, let's go back over. So I go to the Instagrams, and when I see something that's interesting, I'll click on this little heart symbol. Then I'm in this list with 39 other people who thought this was interesting, and we can all look at each other because we can all click on that little 39 and go, oh, look at who thought it was interesting. Sometimes that's interesting. Most of the time it's not. You got the little speech bubble, just like you would expect. You can type something in there, and then a comment will happen. And of course, people can read the comment. They might even reply to the comment or something like that. Let's see if I can move this towel just a bit so we get a little bit more cuteness. Maybe I can up the cuteness just a hair by moving that towel out of the way. All right, and then paper airplane shoves it up to your circles. We'll take a look at those later. And then the last thing is this little ribbony looking chevron thing, and that's what I do is I jam it. When I think it's good enough, I jam it into the I forget what it's called, saved files or saved posts. And that's what we're looking at is once a week we usually go in here and take a look at these things. Next up is Goal, Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure we talked about this last week, but I'm going to talk about it again. This is Carrie Ann O'Clair and Renee. Okay, I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm not gonna. But these are the 2 ladies that started the Armed Women of America, which used to be the Well Armed Women. And this is literally just some ladies that were going to the range. We're willing to be the only ladies back in the day that went to some training class and then afterwards went to the kind of followed up and continued going to the range. Other ladies started to join them. They turned that into a franchise type of thing so that ladies that were nowhere near them could follow the recipe and do the same. And now I think they said they had many hundred. I think they said 600 chapters. It's either 300 or 600 chapters across the country. And that's groups of ladies who are just, using their organizational structure and their assistance to just kind of formalize get-togethers, which when you're new or you're uncomfortable or you're not familiar, that can be useful. And it has been useful for many women. Now they've also since then become instructors and involved in other things, including the DC project. So you're also looking at directors for Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So pretty sure Massachusetts on the right and Rhode Island on the left, although I believe they both came from Massachusetts. Anyway, so that's an interview that they did as episode 1 of their new podcast, Sisters in Arms. So female-focused podcast, Second Amendment topics by ladies, hosted by ladies who have already accomplished great things. So very much looking forward to what they do. I think it's going to be focused to just shooters in general, not necessarily Second Amendment advocates or other lady firearms instructors or anything like that. So just they're first episode was to introduce themselves and some origin stories. So definitely looking forward to how that one turns out. Oops, I'm pushing the wrong button. So then the next one is just a quick education over legislation post from Goal, Massachusetts. And again, one of the ladies who just, I don't know if coincidentally or happens to be in there. Now we've got, pretty sure we looked at this one last week too, but this is a little kid, a 7-year-old girl who had recently become paralyzed from the waist down. And she had gone out shooting for the first time. And on her second shot, hit one of these moving clay targets. So people that think shooting is somehow associated with violence are ignorant or intentionally marginalizing the property or the ownership of that property, and either again intentionally or unintentionally discounting the individual merit or the individual's therapy that can come from manipulating a tool with some skill and with a positive result, like a clay target bursting in air in front of everybody, and the positive effects that can give to somebody who's dealing with a lot. So F all them who would suggest otherwise. And 23,000 people clicked on that little heart thing. Remember I said when you click on that little heart thing, everybody can see who clicked on it? Well, I can see that 23,000, almost 24,000 people clicked on that in 1 week, and that's from the NRA. A lot of people would suggest that the NRA is useless and that you should just throw away the NRA because they'd rather have your $30 a year. I suggest that we challenge that perception. All right, next up is the DC Project. We definitely talked about this one last week, but I'll just mention they offered some actual ideas to have conversations or to have more effective communication at the holidays. Oops, what's am I doing here? I don't know what happened there. I clicked on some button I don't usually click on. I think that's a map button or something. I don't know what that is. Let's see. This one was from Tony. Had posted that he was doing a diversity shoot on his birthday. Well, I like to recommend people celebrate a birthday week on the internet. It's nobody else's business what your own date of birth is. Fake your date of birth. Have a birthday week. Give your friends and your people you meet online a whole week to say happy birthday to you. It's not anybody's business, especially those trying to harvest your information when your birthday is, especially other people's birthdays. So, we don't have to say when our birthdays are. Your friends can know when it is, but we can all say happy birthday week. And I'm going to encourage people to celebrate a birthday week online. You're worth a whole week, and your personal information is your personal information. This is pretty funny. This is Melissa, who is Dragon Man's daughter, runs the shop, and is a firearms instructor. She's now becoming a content creator, kind of in double speed, like really making use of the resources that are out there and examples that others have set. She's doing her own thing in her own way. You can tell she's Dragon Man's daughter, and here's a little bit. I'll just play it.
Listen to Melissa. She's a great cook.
All of the moisture is really soaked into the turkey. You take out a little bit of stuff that you don't really like to eat. Ooh. So first I take some really nice, thick, reddish grease. Okay, we just put that all over our turkey. So I'm going to take about a 1/4 cup of glass feeding salt. A little bit. Now we take a couple of cloves of some 12 gauge buckshot. We'll dash that in there. Really layer it up with some brass casing. I personally like the pistol brass casings. You can use the rifle brass casings. Last, I just do a dash of Loctite. Make sure you guys go with the red, not the blue. I'm just going to do a little bit dash Loctite. It does wonders. Now we're going to stuff this baby up. I like to go with my my expansion powder. The more expansion powder, the more the merrier. Pineapple grenades will just, really, really bring it all in. Okay, so now we're gonna give it that little golden brown and crispiness before we fully cook it. I'm gonna leave this to my dad. He's doing this for years.
Okay, knock it out. I didn't get the fire extinguisher. Okay. Fire extinguisher. Okay, we're ready.
Okay, now that my dad's made it nice and crispy, we're gonna go ahead and just like fully set it home, cook the steak. And you know, most of you are gonna be deep frying today. At Dragon Man's, we don't really deep fry. We just really give our turkey a nice bye bye. Hearing and eye protection is very important throughout the cooking process. That's how we do it here at Dragon Man's. Be sure to like this post and follow me for more cooking tips. I can do more than just shoot.
You can tell they're having fun up there at Dragon Man's place. All right, so Black Friday stuff happened. Tactical Outfitters, company over in California that sells patches. They sell a ton of patches. They go to different gun shows around, and they've had some of our patches. They might still have them. They haven't ordered them in a long time, but they have a lot of patches, so it's kind of cool to see a patch place continuing to keep going. We've got Fort Thompson, a big shop in Arkansas, in Little Rock, that posted some Black Friday stuff. Let's see, this is from Locksack. It says, these block the strongest odors, great for backpacking. So Locksack makes like a really, really, really heavy-duty waterproof bag that's transparent. So you could say it's a very heavy-duty Ziploc, but it's a little bit more than that. They're made for diving and going underwater with them, but they are, end up being very useful for lots of things. Reusable and whatnot. So it says, I backpack with my dog and use these for her food. She's on a special diet and her food reeks of fish. Packed in regular Ziplocs, her food has all of my gear and everything else smelling like fish, which is really lame for hiking in bear country. These bags stop all the odor from her food, and I plan to order more in various sizes for my other smelling things while backpacking. Kind of an interesting post. Then we've got, actually, I think when we were checking this out last week, I ended up grabbing some of these. So I haven't got them yet, but that's no big deal. I only barely ordered these things the other day. But Rifle Dynamics, on their Black Friday deal, all their patches were $2.50. So I grabbed a bunch of those. So stay tuned for those in future Free Patch Fridays and the random patch packs when we do the patch swap. This leash was free. Also grabbed one of those. They said they shipped today already.
We're going to be able to cook anything we've ever wanted and dreamed. Now that we have this equipment, there's going to be very few limitations.
Not very many people actually get to work in brand new, freshly designed kitchens. As chefs, you're usually taking something over that's old, or there's a turnkey situation.
Kitchen that we're building, it's a monster. It's a Cadillac for sure. It's got a lot of exciting, huge bells and whistles that anybody in the culinary area scene in Omaha would love to go work there and be a part of it.
I think that 88, we've done what we can out of Ammo Box. Ammo Box, the limitations on space and equipment and refrigeration, we've done amazing things.
The existing Ammo Box Cafe is just always had that Turbo Chef oven, and we're not, we don't have to deal with that anymore.
What I've come to understand is that we want to take the level of service, food service and dining room service, up a notch.
Food that we were offering, it's going to be elevated in all categories and approachable, and we're going to make sure of that.
The three.
All right, so this is a gun shop. Is it in Omaha, Nebraska? How do we get to their website? So this is, Omaha, Nebraska. So this is a gun shop in Omaha, Nebraska that I've been following. I follow a lot of these gun tree clubs, so I don't know how I started following this one, but it's in Nebraska, so guess. And then look at this. They've got gyms, they've got a restaurant in there, like a health club. They got a big tower over there. You can go climb on it. Got a parking lot. Got bad guys in foam costumes. You can beat on them. You can drink there, I guess. You can punch on stuff and kick things, pull on them cords, and you can go shooting. So essentially, it's a lifestyle club or whatever. So pretty cool. And DJ is saying it's outside of town. So now, according to this post, they're going to have, I apologize for the reckless snoring. This other little dog here, I'll do the dog update. He's snoring. You're sleeping. They are going to have
now that we have this equipment, there's going to be very few limitations.
very few limitations. The Ammo Box kitchen served its purpose for many years. Our chefs and kitchen staff were able to create great food with limited resources. Ultimately, it held them back. Now, they have assembled a state-of-the-art facility along with a star-studded lineup of culinary talent. They are now poised to become Omaha's, and I quote, premier restaurant, lounge, and entertainment venue. See what I'm saying? Looking forward to that. Oh, suggesting he using a VPN to go back to the IG. Interesting. There's free VPNs. So I went to another post from
We're going to be able to cook in.
88 Tactical, I guess, and it says, to round out our new menu, a master sommelier was brought on board to work with our chefs, carefully curating our wine and beverage selections. 88 Tactical's sommelier is one of only 269 people in the world to have attained the title. They are elated to offer this to their members. The perfect wine or spirit pairing often elevates the entire dining experience to a whole new level. And it's going to happen if you go to 88 Tactical. I think DJ is saying it's ridiculous in a good way, like a very deluxe and elegant way. Very sophisticated. Oh, maybe I'm just on their page now. Perhaps I'm just on their page.
We're going to be able to cook anything.
I'd like to apologize again for the rudeness of this puppy's behavior. A lot of people that think of the people that are listening to this podcast. They're thinking, is someone so rude as to fall asleep during this show? Someone so inconsiderate as to leave a mic on while they're sleeping during this show? Yes. You already determined the floppy ears of this thing? The dog that nobody wanted. Why? Is it the long tail? Is it the smashed up face? Or is it the snoring all the time? You can make him snore by doing this. You just wiggle this part of him. Snores. Again, apologize. Apologize for the rudeness, inconsideration. Little puppy. The sommelier is Spirit World. is from Spirit World on another place. Spirit on specific street. Did you already talk about San Francisco using robots that kill? Well, one, if someone would have posted something on Instagram about it, maybe. Okay, so here's what's cool. First off, there's a ladder over here for no reason against this wall. Why would there be a step ladder against this wall? There's nothing going on that wall. That's not really a long enough step ladder to get up to where it says members entrance. So why is this step ladder here, right? There's a truck over here. All right, they're building something. This can't be the air conditioner. Tell me this isn't the air conditioner right in front of the, or some sort of giant electric box right in front of the main entrance. So I don't know what this is. I'm guessing I'm going to say temporary generator because they're still building the place. Because now I see a ladder inside. And I can't tell if this is reflection or this might be a reflection too. But now, the best part, there are at least 3 dudes on this roof. 1, 2, 3 dudes. That guy's got an orange shirt on. Let's see what happens.
Thing we've ever wanted and dreamed.
Yeah, that guy's walking around, orange shirt. That guy. Now, why do they have these triangles in front of their faces? What is up with that? And what's this guy doing in that box over there?
Now that we have this equipment, there's going to be very few.
That building was under construction when that was filmed. I just CSI'd the shit out of that. That's an extra bonus for listening tonight and having to deal with that puppy snoring. So no, we didn't already talk about San Francisco using robots that kill because I don't think anybody has posted on Instagram about it. So how did we even know about it? Plus, can it be, well, first off, the state. If the state deemed it necessary, then maybe it's time for robots to have that ability. And, you know, as long as someone's going to have that ability or that obligation, then they might as well be the state. Who else to better wield power? All right, so Cape Gunworks, a gun shop in Massachusetts, I'm a big fan of. They do a radio show on Wednesdays, and they host a segment, a 45-minute segment on a big radio show each Tuesday. And they have a gun shop in Massachusetts. They have a small business Saturday thing, or they had a small business Saturday thing going on. Posted about it, did a bunch of different links. And in this one, they're talking about some hardware shops and some other stores that, like a market and a coffee company. I don't know what this is, but some other store, I'm guessing, that are local. So they're encouraging folks to be local and shop small businesses last Saturday. Thanks to everybody who did. Foss is posting a thing that he got some loot, I guess, that he got from Clover. Didn't even know he was a winner, but he ended up winning a bunch of stickers and some targets. It's always cool when people post that kind of stuff because it helps the robots, the spider robots that navigate the web and kind of pay attention to who's linking to who. I took a test over on the LinkedIn and top 5% on Google Analytics. So I feel like my analytics game is sharp. So we've got this guy who is, what is all this? In New Jersey, their gun policy, or the Firearms Policy Coalition, is complaining about tyrants. It's one of the, let's look up the person's nose and look at their eyeballs and their face and stuff. And it is talking about the tyrants in New Jersey needed 41 votes to pass a thing called A4769. On Monday, their second attempt for going back, they only received 42. This bill can be blocked by the Senate. So I don't like the way that they said it only received 42 because it did pass. And then I guess what they're trying to say is it barely passed, but still. And then, I mean, I don't know what this thing is trying to say. We got to look up this guy's nose. That always creeps me out. But then it says A47. Why does it say ACAC blah, blah, Danielson? third for 3RDG. Like, what the hell is that? Final passage? That doesn't mean shit. It's just freaking letters and numbers together with the word final passage after it. Third digit final passage? Stupid. Why are they even showing that on the screen? Firearm sale and possession makes various revisions to requirements. What is that? Firearms? Okay. Sale and possession. Okay. Makes various revisions to requirements. I mean, could it be more vague? That's the vaguest words they could use to even write in there. And it's a lot of words. So stupid. All of that was garbage. This is like looking at alien stuff or something. Then it says Y42N29. I guess that's absent. I don't know if that's a 1 or what, because they got his big ass head right there. I just think this is, I don't know if this is working or not. 3,000 people clicked on it. I mean, they make about $1 million a year, and they post like hell. They post a lot, but I don't know. I guess if you post a lot, some of it's gonna be really good, some of it's gonna be really bad. Am I the only one that gets creeped out on these things? Is this a good post? Am I overly critical? Let me know. You have a chance to use the internet and not just watch. There's people watching this. Use your voices. So we're gonna go look at the poll first, and we'll take a look. It says best type of gun for all around if you were to buy just one. I know it's a stupid question, but the internet requires that we ask these kind of questions. Handgun, rifle that's not an AR, shotgun, rifle that is an AR. Well, rifle that is an AR is the answer, but everybody's putting in rifle that's not an AR. That makes no sense. So now I'm sus, real sus of what's going on tonight. Handgun is at 25%, shotgun is at 25%. First off, if it's the audience that I'm familiar with, y'all are going to type in shotgun. Other people would type in handgun. I don't know who the heck comes up with rifle non-AR-15. So that's, I'm sus, or I'm saying that's sus. I don't know how the kids say it, but whatever it is, sus. I'm calling sus on this whole thing. All right, now we're going back to a puppy update because now I'm scared that he is still going. Need a little mirror. Either you poke him in the nose, and that's how you, oh yeah, there he goes. Boop, boop. I don't know which fold is his eye, so I don't want to be doing anything there. I know he doesn't like this, or when he's sleeping, he doesn't really care one way or the other. All right, we'll bring the puppy lights back in. There you go. Hopefully this will be right around mid-show. This will be the leaves for the thumbnail. Is that cute enough? I should get a little bow or something to put in his hair. Right around here. Put a bow over here. All right, we'll go back to the show. There's people that say you shouldn't put dogs on the internet. In fact, I'm pretty sure we all got scolded sometime earlier this year with even the suggestion that you put a dog on a professional YouTube channel. This isn't a professional YouTube channel. And the reason you can tell is because I have a dog on it. It can't be professional if there's a dog on it. AK-47 catalog. This dude is pretty cool. He goes to a lot of places. I think I've clicked on more than one because he's out doing that again. So he's up to catalog number 15, and he has unprecedented access to Kalashnikovs all over the world, like all over the world. It started out just being museums and arsenal collections and military stuff. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to talk about, so I'm just going to say he's had unprecedented access to firearms throughout the world for a long time. And I've known he's in the KCA, or what we were all in the KCA back in the day. So he brought a lot of knowledge to us and for me with bayonets and stuff. So just cool dude. And most of the pictures you've seen that are awesome from back in the day that are still kicking around are because Rob took these like badass, like really good high def pictures back in the day, behind the scenes at like museums and arsenal collections and stuff, as a true like enthusiast. And the people that ran these museums and stuff knew what he was doing, just archiving history. And eventually the internet couldn't keep up. You know, we were using there we were using well, it was actually Yahoo Groups, I think, when we first started. It might have been, it was probably something before that, but Yahoo Groups was one of the first, I'd say, like services. That's not really cloud, I guess you could say. It was like there was no cloud back then, but that's what you would call it today. But it was one of the first services where you could come together and do stuff without having to just build it yourself. I mean, there was a couple of servers and things you could do back in the olden days, but for the most part, you would just build your own computer, set it up, and then give people access. And you'd give people access to your hard drives on a computer that was just turned on and was connected to the internet. Eventually, we got websites and other things, but Yahoo was this intermediate. And, today it would be more like a Facebook. It was similar to like a Facebook or something. So when we first started accumulating data and stuff, like that's when Rob was taking just incredible pictures and stuff, and again, helping us out. So anyway, these are some pictures. He says he's on the road again. This is a picture of an M7, an AK-47, and I guess some kind of M16 A1. It's an A1 because of the sights and the muzzle brake and the magazine and the handguards, I guess. But it's just so crispy and brand new that I don't know if it's a fake or if maybe it is brand new. It says Royal Thai Air Force Museum. So potentially it's something that we gave the Taiwan's government or something, and they just took a brand new one and stuck it in their museum. It's possible. But anyway, I don't know anything about it. He says, we're on the road looking for content for my next book, the AK-47 Catalog, Volume 15. Starting out in Bangkok, Thailand, headed to Cambodia, Laos, and then Vietnam. Look for more posts over the next few weeks. We have a neat Soviet AK-47 Type 3, which has been covered multiple times in my book series. This one is a little dolled up on display at the Thai Air Force Museum in Bangkok, Thailand. So again, just cool watching, well, people I know, but watching people who excel just continuing to, continue their projects, I guess. Pretty good. There's Echo. Good evening. Hope everything's going good for you over there. Tony Simon.
Gun Control's Racist Roots is episode 90 of the Second is for Everyone podcast. There's a lot in this episode, so hold on tight. Want to put more guns in the hands of people that live in Patterson and York and Elizabeth and Camden to say, here, that'll make them safer. Please.
So Tony had another diversity shoot, and well, actually not the diversity shoot. He was actually posting episode 90 of the Second is for Everyone podcast. So that's good to hear. Now he posts that only over on the podcast system, so I haven't actually listened to it yet. Wish he'd post it on YouTube. All right, so today is Tuesday, and that means it is the day for Giving Tuesday, I guess. Pets for Vets is an organization, and I know people say things like Pets for Vets, but this is literally petsforvets.com, not just the general term or saying, pets for veterans or anything. This is literally just a place called Pets for Vets. It's a couple of ladies, I think. Uh-oh, we have a puppy update. He's squirming all around. He rolled over, and he was definitely adorable. Oh, now he's snoring again. I don't know if in that such a small view, if you were able to see, he essentially, let's recreate what he did there. He rolled over onto his side, did a weird thingy like this, and his belly came floating his belly out in such a way that it looked all funny, and then he went back to sleeping. No, I wasn't able to recreate it exactly. Now his head's on my laptop, so. All right, look how lazy he is. Oh, there, now he went back to his potato-like situation. He's such a baby that he still goes back to this potato mode. There it is next to a hand. He's not really a teacup unless you have a really big entity. All right, so we're going back and smush him down to the bottom. Okay, there we go. Patriots taking off. Yeah, I'm going kind of late because I'm farting around, I guess. But thanks for jumping in. Oh, it was also late because of barbecue. Let's not forget to blame barbecue, who does this show as he feels like it, whatever pace he wants. He could easily go live at 8 p.m. Instead, he goes live right up next to my show, and then insists on going as long as he feels like it. And yeah, sure, it's inconsiderate to you, the audience that has to stay awake because of barbecue and Nancy Pelosi, but mostly Nancy Pelosi. All right, so getting back to Pets for Vets, awesome organization. Like I said, just a couple of, from what I understand, it's a couple of ladies and some reason to understand why helping veterans for lots of reasons in lots of ways with lots of different critters is the way to go. So it's Pets for Vets. He's being adorable again. So then they're saying only 2 days to go. Will you support our nation's heroes and animal shelters? And you could have done that by helping them out at their website, and they made it fairly easy. There's petsforvets.com/donate. And of course, it is today. So that was a post from a few days ago, let you know that it was coming. But if you wanted to, if you were inclined and you had the ability to, feel free. Cody Firearms Experience is an awesome gun shop and shooting range and experience because it's in a museum and it's got some other stuff going on. They're right outside the east gate of Yellowstone National Park, which gets millions, I'm not even exaggerating, millions of international and national, but a lot of international visitors to go to see the natural wonders of the United States. You know, we have a unique country here. And people that come for those natural resources also understand that they're going to Wyoming. They're going to what they consider the American West. And because of Annie Oakley and Buffalo Bill, who traveled internationally at a time when people were just starting to, understand what it's like to listen to the whole world in their newspapers and on their things like the Buffalo Bill tour, right? You had the American West became a part of the world's culture, the world's awareness, right? So there's people that still to this day want to go to Wyoming, want to go to the United States based on those kind of things. And when they go to Cody, Wyoming, and they drive out there, because there's no airports or helicopters or anything, they're driving there. They're going to drive right past this place called the Cody Firearms Experience. And it's a giant billboard in a cool van. And it says, want to shoot guns or something like that? And they got a Gatling gun, and they've got everything from the oldest guns to the most modern. So somebody who might be coming in as a recreational or an inexperienced or a novice, unlike the Vegas shooting, recreational shooting experiences, which are catered towards the kids and the curious and whatever, the Cody Firearms Experience is definitely an experiential type of thing. They have a lot of fun with it, and like I said, there's a lot of options for people, and it's just a cool spot. And I've been following them ever since I found them, and considering how there's the Dugout Gun Museum and there's Cody Firearms Experience, and then the rest of Cody options tend to be disappointing. Let's put it that way. So you drive all the way out there, you really think you're going to experience some amazing firearm stuff, and you find out that you do at the Cody Firearms Experience, which is not the museum. It is not the museum. It is a gun shop, and it's a range, and it's outside the gates. It's not the museum, which is around the corner and kind of hidden away, and really a different experience. It's not as positive. And then you got the Dugout Gun Museum, which is pretty awesome. So anyway, the gun shop, Cody Firearms Experience, says they're closed most of the week for private classes, but they will resume normal hours, and then it's an opportunity for them to host some of their stuff here. And they've got the days that they're closed or whatever, but they've got Glock Armorers courses going on, and then their shooting leagues, and then they also have some a basic pistol class happening. I just thought that was cool, an opportunity to chat about the shop, since I'm guessing at this time of year, there's very few, if any, visitors because of the snow and whatever in Wyoming. I mean, I don't even know if Yellowstone's open in the winter. Probably is depending on weather. But because of the weather, it's probably infrequent that people schedule visits there, at least back in the day. I'm going for the raw coffee, no goop in it or nothing. I really only put oat milk in it normally, but I'm off the oat milk. I don't know if I like it or not. NRA, a lot of people hate it because of their what's-his-face's suits or whatever. And what's-his-face's suits are so difficult. He's won. Like, there's no way to challenge him in his suits. Like, you might as well just give the NRA over to Shan and Bloomberg and Nancy Pelosi because that guy had bought suits. So the NRA might as well get rid of it. But what are they going to do over here? Let's just take a look at what they got over here. Some dude says, if you got more guns in your home than books, you're part of the problem. Now, I don't know who that is. I think it's one of the Bee Gees. But some guy from ZZ Top goes, all my guns come with owner's manuals. Checkmate. So, I guess it's funny or whatever. It's on Twitter. So, we don't really talk about Twitter over here, but the people on Twitter, they think things are funny. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. This particular little back and forth between Eric Clapton and the guy from Soundgarden or whatever has been reposted approximately as many times as that Money Don't Jiggle Jiggle song. So I'm sick of seeing it. This happened to be the first time I seen it, or one of the first times. So then I just like to post things that the NRA does sometimes, not everything, just to put it in contrast. 49,000 people seen this since yesterday, 2 days ago. But, the NRA, useless, pointless. They can't do anything because the one guy buys suits. So we lost. That guy won. Let's give the NRA to Bloomberg. At least that's the message you're getting from most people out here talking about it. Sometimes I'll look at the comments on posts like this. It's not like I'm clicking on this one because I support everything the NRA does and I want to do more suits. But, I like to use it as a representation of the scale that the NRA exists at and the lack of anyone paying attention to that when they're shitting on the NRA. But I also will sometimes look at these comments, not so much to see who. Every once in a while you see somebody you know. It doesn't happen very often when there's 50,000 comments because that's pretty tough. But you get an idea of like the pulse. So I don't read everyone. I just do this. And you can kind of tell by scrolling, positive, negative, snarky, or like rah, rah, rah. A lot of them are just rah, rah, rah. To be honest, we all know the NRA isn't like, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation. The NRA is like, we hate, we love, right? So, anyway, we'll move on. People are saying stuff. Everybody's just saying hey to each other over here. All right. Then saying hey to everybody. Roy's out there. Wesley jumped in. I don't know if I said hey to DJ before, but DJ is out there. Known in some realms as Mr. DJ. Oh, Echo is out there. I don't know if I said hey to Echo. If I did, hopefully everything's, I think it did. So hopefully everything's going good for you out there. And then, of course, Smeggy is out there. Let's not put him in a timeout, but instead just highlight his comment. Serbu Firearms. Serbu. You ever seen Miami Vice? If this was if this dog was a shotgun, this would be, if dogs were shotguns, this dog would be the Serbu of shotguns, of dogs, right? Because this dog represents a little tiny short version of the longer thing. So in Miami Vice, Tubbs uses the Serbu shotgun, little tiny 2-shot pump action Mossberg or Remington. He made them both ways. Other people ripped them off later, but he originated it. He also made a whole bunch of other guns. He's an inventor, and he's, I don't know what you call it, like an artisan. He's also just, to some extent, a what's that called? I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it. But he's, he has some fun with it all. And at some point, he built a Serbu Butt Master. And this is a post of a list of different guns. And he circled number 2, the firearm known in any other similar design, designed to fit in the palm of your hand, including, and it talks about the Braverman Stinger, which is that pen gun. It talks about the MACSS something or another, and then it says the Serbu Buttmaster. And he says in his comments, this is kind of funny, but it also illustrates the absurdity of gun control. Canada banned a gun that I made only one of over 20 years ago and never sold. So somebody went somewhere into some list, some archive, in some department of some agency or whatever, and got this list and included all these different guns that Canada is specifically banning, and one of them is on the list is just a one-off, a unique gun one guy made as a joke one time. All right, we've got some good news and some unfortunate news with puppies. So first off, let's remember that Snob's puppy either got kicked by a cow or something else, and it's having some rough times, but he said it sounds like it's getting a little better. So it's good to hear. But also, we just talked about the ladies from that we had talked about on the radio show, or that are starting their own radio show. Well, it looks like Sammy, without getting into it, Carrie Ann O'Clair's puppy had some problems, and she's been updating everybody, but it looks like I say, there's the radio show, and then I guess there's some posts here where she's been kind of mentioning the puppy being, let's say, ill. I don't want to get into being mean, or not mean, but talking about sad stuff in the middle of the night for everybody. But the puppy's been having some. The Serbu, if there's a stock on it, it's an SPS. If there's no stock, then it's an AOW. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to Instagram. I messed up. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. Go back down to saved. And go to this main list. We're getting towards the end. Sort of. So again, sorry to hear, but the puppy, it says, sorry about that inopportunity on. Update on Sammy. He woke up this morning and drank quite a bit of water, which was a good thing. He's still in quite a bit of pain. The medication seems to be helping a bit. I'm hoping the second day will be better. So that's sad. There's another one. She said, what a difference anti-inflammatory made. He's so much better this morning. Can't jump on the couch yet, but what an improvement. Thanks for all your prayers and well wishes. You can see this little puppy's walking around the yard, doing a little puppy pee, making sure everything's good to go there, looking around. And that was a good amount of pee, so right on. Also, somebody should go over there and hack down the back of Marianne's yard for her. Come on. She's literally running 2 national level female organizations, and nobody can go over there and cut her yard. There's a YouTube channel where the guy goes around cutting yards, and he makes a ton of money on YouTube. He just goes around and cuts people's yards for nothing, films it, speeds it up sometimes. Otherwise, he just films it, and people watch the yard getting cut, especially when it's completely overrun. Makes a ton of money. I don't know if anybody ever seen that channel. So if you know of a youngin that's looking for something to do, tell him to grab a weed eater, some kind of hand tools, Go find some old people that have overgrown lawns, start cutting them, film it, edit it, figure out a way to get that on YouTube in a, what am I trying to say, in a routine that makes it, possible. You're gonna start making a ton of money. Don't even have to ever charge the old people. All right. So next up is another one from Gun Owners Radio, which is a organization. It's Gun Owners of San Diego Gun Owners. So it's a radio show associated with San Diego Gun Owners, and so they go live every Sunday evening as they broadcast live to Southern California. We've got a couple of different regional gun rights groups. And this is a post, just in addition to all that, they have some social platforms and they post more than just like, hey, our show's live. They do post this interesting stuff. And in this case, some funny stuff. It says, getting mugged? Just say no. Your robber legally can't take any of your possessions without your consent. And it cites the penal code in California. So well played. You just have to inform the criminal that it's not legal for them to do what they're doing. All right, so today again is Giving Tuesday, and this one is from earlier this morning. The Green Beret Foundation has a goal of $40,000. Because of supporters like you, the Green Beret Foundation can impact the lives of over 5,000 Special Forces families each year. You can donate to them by clicking on the link in their bio. Of course, I like to mention the Green Beret Foundation, but you can, if you have some issue with that, you can fill in the blank with any other veterans organization you want, or you could rather put in something like EMS or mental health awareness or anything else, feel free. But on Tuesday after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday, the capitalist traditions continue with Giving Tuesday. And then I think it's, what the hell, Wednesday next. But basically, we've been sending out a bunch of dudes, 12 at a time, 10 at a time, 6 at a time, to do things. And, occasionally that can result in casualties. And that leaves families and descendants without as many resources as they would have. And some people might say it's up to the government, and others would say, the government doesn't have to foot that. The people volunteered, but it can be interested parties that could help to carry the burden and shoulder some of the financial, I have an update, of the families left behind, the spouses and the young kids and baby puppies, perhaps. Going back to putting the puppy in the corner. Let's put the puppy in the corner and get back to Medal of Honor Museum. So the Medal of Honor Museum is being built right now, and have yet to see it because it's not built yet, but will be a place to commemorate all of those who have received the Medal of Honor. Well, the first woman to receive the Medal of Honor was during the Civil War, and it was Dr. Mary E. Walker. She was born in 1832, and if you haven't ever checked out her story, it's pretty interesting. So this is the Medal of Honor Museum, of course, so they have a pretty concise way of describing it, but it is an interesting story. I've heard it and read it a couple of different times from different sources and stuff, and it's worth your time if you're interested in cool aspects of history. But this post says, happy birthday to Dr. Mary E. Walker, who was born in 1832. She is the first and only woman to receive the Medal of Honor, which she earned during the Civil War. Oh, I guess it doesn't go into more than that. But again, she's basically, hold on. Holy crap, I must be allergic to bullshit. But she was a doctor and she did all kinds of awesome shit. I can't remember all the details anymore, but it was something like She kept going back and helping people. And normally, the dudes were all going, "No, these guys are all done." And she's like, "No, we can save these people." All right. So next up is AZ Firearms, which is also Pot of Gold Auctions up in the Phoenix area. Has their giant auction once a year in December, where they do all their military and fine gun stuff. It's their biggest, finest gun auction of the year, and it'll be packed with tons of collectible military firearms, rare ammunition, and more. And if you haven't already checked it out, go check it out. So that's what this post is all about. And if you haven't seen, they have a huge collection of 140 25 ACP pistols. It's just insane. All in one auction. I don't know. Yeah, well, I'd ruin that. You've got crazy firearms, including a pre-war Mauser C96 with that stock that turns into a grip, a stock that turns into a holster. You've got a Johnson, which is up here on the top here, an M1941 Johnson. I've only ever seen, this is the third Johnson I've fiddled with my own hands. And this one has a weird stock on it. It's got a sporterized stock, but it's not a Bubba thing. It's the Johnsons never went into production. So they were sold to some company, and that's the company tried to make them into a gun. So there's a very rare, but these are a production gun in that stock. Let's see, some other stuff, including, I don't know where it's going to say about this one. Yeah, I don't know why it's put this up here. Isn't this, what do you call it? I don't know. I guess they just have it here. Oh, an Intratec DC-9, 9mm with shroud. I did not see that. Dang it. And then I just noticed that massive 1911 long slide at the bottom there. So you don't see long slides very often. I would have probably fiddled with that when I was up there. I would have thought about it or known about it, I guess. But yeah, look, there's a Tech 9. Hey, look at that bayonet. What do you know? What does that say? Oh, lot number. Whose bayonet you think that is? Ka-ching. All right, well, so the next one. Oh, wait, there's another page. No, there's not another page. Cape Gunworks earlier today posted, "What should we say on this sign?" Then they let people know that they were doing the simulcast of the live segment that they do with the Grace Curley show each Tuesday, the 2A Tuesday segment. And as they're doing that segment, they go live on YouTube. So to kind of let people know it was coming, they posted this. It's probably a good idea. Give people an opportunity to put something in there. So let's see what people said. All you got to do is click this little speech bubble, and that lets you leave a comment. So one of them said, Dobie Link said, Elmer Fudd got his rifle here. You should too. John is saying, go ahead and make my Christmas. And I thought it was pretty good. Linda says, a little pew-pew is good for the juju. And then Clark says, T-Rex, small arms dealer. That gun shop is in Massachusetts. Hold on, I got to hold on. I think I'm allergic to the bullshit. All right, that's better. So Massachusetts, this next one is from Gold, the Gun Owners Action League out of Massachusetts. It says Massachusetts gun-related homicides have increased 111% since 1998, since their 1998 Gun Control Act. So in 1998, they had 63 gun-related homicides, and in 2020, 133. For a state with how many million people and 133 homicides? is an epidemic. And the state with how many millions of people are infringed on their ability to own firearms because of 133. I'm not discounting 133, but I am discounting that number compared to the number of people that are there. How many accidents with cars? How many accidents with fentanyl? How many accidents with gravity, people falling off of stuff? How many accidents with people in fist fights and somebody accidentally dies? That seems like the kind of number that you get if somebody was in a fist fight and accidentally died. So this sounds interesting, and I guess the idea is to show that gun control is so useless that crime is actually going up. But anyway, interesting, and it's right next to Cape Gun Works, who's also in Massachusetts, so it kind of is interesting. At least coincidentally, they both come up. I think those just came up in the same next to each other on the Instagram today. Another one for Pets for Vets. They had mentioned that it's coming, and then today they posted that it's here. And again, if you're inclined and you're looking to give something to somebody, the Pets for Vets is an organization that I find interesting on Instagram, but I know in real life they're basically pairing up veterans who might need them with some kind of a puppy like this one that somebody might want, or not want in this case. Somebody got rid of this puppy because they didn't want it anymore. A lot of people are thinking, this puppy isn't beautiful enough to breed, so maybe some breeders had it, and because it's not beautiful enough, they just let it go. I wish there was a way to make this bigger. Is there a way to make this bigger? But this is Bannerman Castle. I'd be super stoked if I was able to do something like this, because this just blows my mind. Bannerman Castle is awesome. Being able to fly a drone around on it would be, that's all I want to do. If I had like 20 batteries and a couple of days to play around, get out on a canoe or whatever, get out on I guess a canoe would be fun. And then, drone out. Come on, you gonna play it again or what? Does it say anything? Nope, just copyrighting me. Man, that's cool. That one time, that was pretty much all the munitions from the Spanish-American War. Millions of rounds of ammunition. And this is a 9mm gun, so it can't hold millions of rounds of ammunition. But back in the day of the earlier days of gun channels, Moon Food, was one of the photographers who would always throw some pictures out there. And I guess he's out there still getting new stuff, because this looks like a bunch of new stuff on this gun. Pretty nice picture, though. If you want to know how to get views and whatnot on the Instagram, here's how you get them. Let's see, where's his watermark? Is he slipping on the watermark game, or am I missing it? NRA again. So the other times I've been saying blah, 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 the NRA or whatever. So in this case, come on, man. So this is the NRA harping on garbage that, he made a mistake or he didn't, but this is borderline distraction. So I'm not saying I like everything the NRA is doing. I'm definitely not going to keep this thing liked. But this was an example just to offset, because I know a lot of people are going to freak out because of what's-his-face's suits. Oh, you got to hate the NRA. You got to be in lockstep and hate the NRA. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. But I'm not in lockstep with either one of those things. I don't love the NRA. I don't hate them. That's one of the reasons I don't love them, because they're dumbasses like this sometimes. So 12,000 views versus what was the other one? 50,000? It's only 6 hours old, but it's probably not going to get the traction. You figure those are social media people. These are strategists that are looking at this stuff. These are people that understand figuring out the recipes, right? They're going to be recommending winning strategies instead of recipes that fail. So hopefully they're learning from, the numbers that they're seeing. Not always. We know some that are so delusional as to just ignore the numbers completely and suggest that everything's working even without them. But, it's not always a great idea. So we saw that picture from the sky before. This is an awesome picture. What it looks like as you're coming up to the docks in a boat. Man, this rocks. It'd be fun to be able to explore the island. At one time, people could just explore the castle. You could just, as long as you could get to the island, you could explore the castle. In my lifetime, in your lifetime, just never did it. I never did it either. I've been there once. I can't wait to go back again. And if the dude who is on the boat is still listening, then yeah, I'll definitely get with you next time I'm able to get up there. That's everything on Instagram that I found in the last couple of this week or so, last couple of days, that was worth sharing with all y'all. So it hopefully gives you an example of the selection of what's going on over there. It's definitely not all just whatever the newest wing bang is. And when it is the newest wing bang, bing bang, then not everybody is out there to sell it to you. Some people are just impressed with owning it and enjoying that. So you're allowed to just share. You're allowed to just appreciate and ask questions. And it doesn't always have to be a sales pitch. So, fucking you're allowed to question the people that always make it a sales pitch, that always have more links for affiliateship than they do information in their things. If it's not communication with you, if it's not interactive and back and forth, then it's messaging, right? It's an agenda. It is marketing. So you don't have to tolerate marketing. You can have conversations. So hopefully what these are doing, these posts are giving you a sample of the kind of stuff that's out there that isn't just, what's the top 10 gifts for gift getters this Christmas or something. I also try to post a lot of gun shops that I follow. Certainly not every gun shop I follow, because otherwise we'd be sitting here just watching gun shop stuff. I guess I could do that sometime. Just literally dig through Instagrams and look at just the gun shops. I could do it with just the firearms manufacturers. I know I have done that before, and I've also done it with just the ones from Arizona, things like that. So maybe do some of those in the future. Feel free to give us some feedback if you want to see stuff like that. I think we'll get ready to wrap it up. I see G23 is saying lots of stuff on IG. Well, hopefully for you, you and folks like you that either don't like to use Instagram because of its association with Facebook, which I totally understand, or like what happened to G23 where you got kind of smacked by them, then hopefully this gives you some insight. It's obviously not everything that's going on over there, and it's not even a fraction of what I follow. So you can see this is filtered to some extent, but it's mostly focused on 2A and then kind of shouting out some good efforts and positive projects that are out there. But let's take a look. I'll just kind of wrap up here. If I were to just go down my normal Instagram feed, here's what we're going to be looking at. It's going to show the 926 people who I follow. And you can tell who anybody follows by clicking on the number there. And it'll show you first the people that you follow, that you both follow, I guess, that you share in common. And then it's eventually, I guess it won't happen for me because I follow everybody I follow. So it'll never say there's somebody in here who I don't follow. But let's say you've got, you look at somebody else's account on Instagram and you click on that number to see how many people are following or who those people are. The first maybe 10, let's say, first 20, the first 5, the first number of them are going to probably say this. You're already following them because you have them in common. But then you're going to get to those green ones that say, you're not following, and then you can find those people. Anyway, so I'm following 926 people. The way you get to them is just by clicking on this little button here. There's circles. I'm not going to get into circles. These are temporary posts that can only last 24 hours and then they disappear. So they're temporary that only last 24 hours. People do weird stuff up there. They do things that makes no sense. Because they put stuff up here like, okay, let's all remember to XYZ. And then 24 hours later, it's gone and no one's going to remember anything because it disappeared. So the typical Instagram is happening down here. Just to give you a little history, the Instagram was designed to be a place for people to share travel experiences, and pictures were part of it. But then they figured out they didn't care about the travel experiences. People were just using it as an interesting way to share pictures with each other and comment about those pictures. So somewhere along the line, Instagram said, let's not fight that. Let's just be in a picture place. So essentially, Instagram is a place to post a picture, and now it can be something like 8 pictures at one time. and you just would have to click next or whatever to see them all. But there'd be a picture and then some words. And in this case, it's a picture with writing on it, and then there'd probably be some words. And then I guess it's making fun of people in Vegas. Then you get gun policy saying the time is running out. Okay, so they kind of swapped out a sign for an FPC message. And if I don't find it real quick, I was kind of looking for something, but not finding it. I'm just going to end this one. So that gives you an idea of what we're doing over there. And I guess I was trying to show you, kind of the difference of what I have in the saved folder versus just what comes up in the list. Right, but even though there's a bunch of people, there's a record number of people watching the show in the middle of the night, there's also a complete lack of anyone participating in the comments. So a lot of times in a late show like this, I can assume that people started the show, kind of laid down, had a little puppy lay on them, for example, or perhaps, and then they fell asleep. So they're still watching, but they don't even know what they're doing. If that's the case, then they don't know we're leaving. But if you are listening actively, I'm going to end it. We've been going for about 90 minutes, and I do appreciate the people that joined us live, participate in the comments out there. If you're interested in us focusing on your stuff, feel free to tag me. I'm not going to say I'm going to include everything that's tagged on the show, but anytime you tag me, and I look at it and it's interesting, there's a potential I'll share it on the show. But this isn't really just to be a let's look at Instagram. I hope it's more of, or at least it's in big part, let's, using the other kind of platform, let's see what everybody's chatting about. Let's see what's important and what's being ignored. So let us know how we did. And thanks again to DJ for dropping links. We will wrap this one up. Let's see, today is Tuesday. Barbecue said he is doing the show in the morning. Cape Gunworks does a show on Wednesdays. Chris from 740 does a show on Wednesdays. Roll Call does a show on Wednesdays. We do a tactical quiz. And we already did the tactical bingo. So it'll be some kind of amazing tactical quiz that has never been done before. That's guaranteed. And that's all she wrote.
Tonight's episode, That Was No Lady.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.